All right, I have a real short topic.
Okay.
But we kind of covered it in the pre-show. But anyways, today when I went and got lunch, I went and got a new 2DS. Now
when did those come out? When did they come out?
Last Friday.
Friday. Okay.
I just wanted to upgrade my 3DS because, you know, this one has a lot longer battery life and I don't need the 3D and all that stuff. Plus it matches my Switch because it's blue and black.
Oh, dear.
Now, I posed this question in a Facebook group a couple days ago, replace my Vita, and there was a lot of mixed answers. But I've decided I'm going to replace my Vita, but I want to talk about the reasons why it's a good idea to have a Vita. So I'm going to trade in my old 3DS and replace my Vita. So that's my topic. Reasons to own a Vita.
Okay.
Matt, or Moose. God, Matt, stuck in my brain. Get out of here.
Well, you got a PS4 Pro, so you got remote play. So that's a very good reason to own it. I mean, it depends on what games you're trying to play. Because like if you're playing a game that has a lot of controls, or is very control heavy, you're screwed. But I know a lot of people that use it. They'll use remote play to play a game that is control heavy, but they'll just do minor stuff in the game. Like they'll just do their crafting on the Vita.
I used to play Destiny.
What's that?
Yeah,
I used to
you
play
can
Destiny.
grinder strikes and stuff. Yeah, you can do that
Yeah.
before. Not a raid.
So
You don't
like,
want to try and
so
raid.
like, yeah, so like you can grind some stuff out on the Vita if you're doing remote play. I mean, I know the guy at Fallout that did the remote play controls was like such a huge fan of like being able to play it on the Vita, so he like did a really good job of it. But the Vita, in my personal opinion of the Vita, I love the Vita, but it's lacking the I don't like the touch screens. It doesn't need touch. That's the problem. It's gimmicky, and I feel it's just as gimmicky as motion controls with Nintendo, and that's why I haven't touched a Nintendo in a long time, and I probably won't until they get off that fucking motion control train. But anyways, so it needs L2 button. It needs a second left and right button up top. The touch controls are a pain in the ass, and then also you have to the L3 and the R3 buttons. So those are on the face of the Vita. Mm-hmm. So all like games that do everything, like it's hard to play on it. But you know, remote play is awesome for it. The other like reason number 2. You have a PS4, you have PlayStation Plus. A lot of games are cross-buy, cross-play. I was speaking of Terraria. The time Terraria came out when I bought my PS4 in 2014, they offered a free Vita version, the Vita version for free if I bought Terraria. And I bought it anyways because I wanted Terraria on my PS4 because I had a blast with it on my 360. So you've got that. You can upload your saves from your PS4 and take them on the go and play them, you know, while you're out there doing whatever. You know, if you got to ride it. Jeff Glasson, who's been on our show before on Nerds Gone Platinum, he sometimes has to go into the city. And so he rides the train and he'll take his Vita with him and he'll play like his games on his Vita that, you know, he has cross-buy through PS4. So, you know, that's another reason. And then indies. Like I love indies, and so a lot of the indies that come out, again, are cross-buy, cross-play, or you know they just come out for the Vita. So it's you know there's 3 good reasons to have a Vita. Plus it's a PlayStation platform. Like in my personal opinion, and it's probably because I haven't owned a Nintendo system in forever. It's still a childish system in my opinion, and I don't. It's not that I don't like fun. It's just okay. Like, why does Mario still have to look like it's kid graphics? Like, why can't Pokemon look like fucking Skyrim? Like, why can't you be hunting? You know, why can't you pick up a
That's the weirdest
and it look awesome? But anyways.
Why can't Pokemon look like Skyrim?
I mean,
My
like,
thing is like
realistic or have like an update in its graphics. And I mean, Mario Odyssey looks like it's going to be good. That's the first Mario I've been impressed by in a long time. But anyways, go ahead, Corey.
my
I
thing
can't wait
is
for Odyssey.
yeah, that game looks. I can't wait for Mario Rabbids personally, but
Really?
That looks cool too. I was actually floored by that. I saw that and I was like,
it's
gonna be
freaking
shit.
Mario
And then it's
XCOM.
like XCOM. And when they showed it was like XCOM, I'm like, that's actually cool. Like that actually gets me excited for the game. So That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Corey's like, is my wife yelling for me?
No, I think she's home. Yeah, she's. But anyways,
Awesome.
like I want a Vita now because like my lifestyle has like I used to use my Vita periodically, but not as much as some people do. But now, like the way my life is now in my current living situation, and you know, being on the go a lot and stuff, like I've been leaning more towards handheld stuff. Or you know, the reason why I like Switch so much is that it's a portable that you can plug into your TV, and like I can play it while I'm sitting on the couch watching a show with my wife, and then when she goes to bed, I plug it into the dock and I can continue playing. And you know, the reason why the Vita is still appealing to me is that same reason, where like I understand it doesn't have the same buttons as a DualShock or whatever, and like my friend actually has these triggers that you can add to the Vita, and it adds a grip, and the triggers function so you don't have to touch the back touch or whatever. And like when I replace my Vita, I'm definitely getting that too. But like that's what I really want, is that plus like I've really had this weird hankering to go back to like some PS1 RPGs like Final Fantasy IX, Xenogears, Wild Arms. Like I want to play some RPGs, and that machine can be an RPG factory. Yeah. Plus I looked at my PS Plus account the other day, and I probably have like 200 Vita games just because they're free.
Yeah, the cross-buy or cross-play or whatever. Yeah.
Like I have, you know, Axiom Verge waiting for me. I have Shovel Knight waiting for me. I have all these games. Like, yeah, some of those are coming to Switch, but like, I don't care. I already have them, you know. So,
right, or you could just buy them on Switch when they're like uber cheap.
Yeah,
there's one.
I mean, that's.
Go ahead. Sorry.
What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I was gonna say the one interesting fact about the cross-buy. You know, you got all those video games because of cross-buy, like Ray mentioned. Sony tracks like sales, whether you buy it on Vita or PS4. So if a game is ever cross-buy, and they're like, if you buy the Vita version, you get the PS4 version. I always buy the Vita version, and then that way it counts in the Vita category instead of the PS4 category. I just thought that was an interesting tidbit.
Yeah. Plus you and Matt and Jason have been talking really high about Fallen Legion, and like it's really made me want to go play both of those games because it's different on PS4, right?
Dragon's Crown. So Fallen Legion, for people who haven't listened to the interview, Fallen Legion, the story is mainly about a crumbling empire. So on the PS4 version, you play the daughter who takes over as the emperor of the empire, and empress, and you're trying to reclaim and rebuild your empire. And then on the Vita version, you play as the general of the her enemies, trying to take over and overturn the corrupt monarch.
Sounds like a Fire Emblem Birthright Conquest situation.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's got a pretty good story. I've only played the PS4. I have downloaded the PS Vita version, and I need to get on there and get playing it. But have you played Dragon's Crown?
I did play Dragon's Crown.
Now, see, that's on the Vita too, and it's really good on the Vita. But the graphics. Okay, there you go. I have it on Vita too. But the graphics are the art style kind of is reminiscent of Dragon's Crown.
Cool. Yeah, Dragon's Crown is a great game on Vita. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay, so reasons for me for you to have a Vita would be I'm a big Uncharted fan, as you can tell by what's behind me, and you guys know me. Uncharted Golden Abyss was a great launch game for the Vita. It was a little touch heavy sometimes with like the light that annoyed that part. Did you play on Golden Abyss, Corey and Moose?
I played, but I have not played it yet. I need to play it.
Yeah, there's one part where you have to hold your Vita's the back camera up to a light in order to like look at a message. It's annoying because if you don't have the right brightness on a light, it's kind of annoying. But that Killzone Mercenary was a great game. You guys already touched on the classics. One of my favorite games ever, Final Fantasy VI. I can play that on Vita. which I'm still glad I have a PS Vita TV because I can play those. The games that aren't touch heavy are compatible with the PlayStation Vita TV, so I can play those with the DualShock, which is actually I actually prefer that to play those that way, on the TV with the DualShock. And Lisa's just looking like, I don't know if I have anything to add to this because she's just looking like.
She looks like me when you guys are talking about music.
I always look like this. I can talk about music all day, but I always look like this. I'm half asleep. I have a little bit of a beer buzz.
Which is good.
I'm laughing because Corey just got done saying he wants to replace his Vita, and then he went out and bought a 2DS.
Well, yeah, he went out. Yeah, you could have just
confused.
Bought the Vita and just kept the 3DS and saved yourself the trouble.
Well,
But,
Corey, I had to go buy Metopia today, so at least you should feel bad that I had to do that. It's not for me.
Cool. Sure.
Yeah, awesome.
You can tell us that. You can keep saying that.
The remote play
I'm not
stuff.
playing
The remote play stuff is fun. Always. The thing I always liked about the Vita is the portability aspect. Is you can pick up games, play them there. I wish we would have seen a lot more of the fruition of the crossplay stuff, like carrying functionality and saves from PS4 to Vita. There's a few games that do it. Corey, with all the talk and buzz about Persona 5, Persona 4 Golden, you need to get on that.
I played about 15 hours of it, and that's when my Vita died. I was like 15 or 20 hours into Persona 4, and I was really loving it, and then it just died. So,
the original Gravity Rush, even though it's available on PS4, it's a great game.
Yeah, Gravity Rush is so good.
What made me
Gravity
really
Rush.
sad was when they that Nier thing though on Vita. I was like, what the hell is this, and why the hell does it exist? And then they killed it. So there went my platinum in Uncharted Golden Abyss because, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You also got I wanted to mention from last year, Dragon Quest Builders. It's
Yeah,
a lot
Dragon
of fun.
Quest
And then
Builders I heard
Odin-
was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, on the go.
And then the remake of Odin Sphere, which is from the same team that did Vanillaware, which did Dragon's Crown. Odin Sphere is awesome. So they've been coming out with some good stuff, trying to bring it to the system. So it trickles, but then like you look at it, like a lot of people are like, there's no games on Vita, and it's like, okay, well you can look at a release list that's going to be like 30 games long.
I mean, that's like,
And then
me,
you look
it's
at
like
the PS4, and it's like you have for the year you have like 100 games, 200 games coming out. It's like, are you really going to play all those games?
it's the
Are
thing.
you really? So
It's that thing, like when people say there's no games coming out for the system that they're obviously hating on. It's like when people say there's no games coming out for a Nintendo system. It's like, no, these just aren't the games you're into. Like,
right.
what does Nintendo have besides Mario and Zelda? Well, there's Fire Emblem, which if you're not into strategy RPGs, you're not going to be playing that. They have Xenoblade. If you're not into action RPGs, you're not going to be playing that. They have Mario, Yoshi, Kirby, but if you're not into platformers, you're not going to be playing those. Like, you look at the Vita, it's full of indie games. Well, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'm not playing that because it's an indie game. Well, you're missing out because a lot of the indie games are great. Like,
And a lot of
there's
indie
so many
games
good
are
indie
getting-
games.
They're getting just as long as AAA titles. I mean,
Yeah,
like Terraria. Terraria is like a long, Hitman or High Matt. Yeah, I guess you could
Long
say
day
it,
there,
man.
Miss. Long day.
It has been a long day, man. Just go. But anyways,